Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a short video tonight. I've been waiting actually for all of the Donald Trump announcement videos that I expected were going to be here over the last 48 hours, and I'm surprised that there are none, because it's a very strange announcement. You know, we're talking exactly 33 days before the election, this comes down. And the feeling I had right away when the announcement of this positive test for him appeared, is that it's a marker. And I've been expecting this for a while. I said right from the beginning, back in like February or March, that probably Trump and Boris Johnson were going to get tested positive at some point down the road. Johnson went first, and now here's Trump. And the fact that it is so close to the election is not an accident. That's clear. This is not coincidence. And so just like the fire at Notre Dame last summer, which I was clear was also a marker, exactly what it was marking, of course, we don't know. It could be marking the whole year we've been going through up to this point. Was marked. That was the official mark. The fire at Notre Dame may have been the marker point to kick off what we've gone through. Sort of the sign for the people with the playbook at home, right? People who have if this happens, it means this. If this happens, it's going to be this. If this happens, and so now we've had the Donald Trump announcement. And that means something for sure. That's not, like I say, it's not random, it's not accident. The trick is trying to figure out what it means from the standpoint of the message. What is the message that is, and it's not that's being necessarily sent to the masses, it's not the message, the message that's being sent to the people who have the playbook. So the group of people who have the playbook, what does this message tell them is coming? And I don't know, but it's obviously to me a message. The second thing that then I wanted to bring up is the word that has been thrown around a lot now is the word reset. And at first that was mostly used in the alternative history community, as we were talking about looking at these periods of times in the past where a civilization seemed to grow to a certain point. Something happened, caused that civilization to be seemingly purposely wiped out, and then something new starting again. That again wasn't some sort of accident. You know, when we were talking about whatever happened in the 1800s, be it from the World's Fairs, from the Civil War, War of 1812, whatever, the events of the 1800s, the end result has been labeled by this word reset, as if civilization or the human society on this planet was, as it's being called, reset. But that word is showing up all over the place, as you well know. It's showing up in economic terms, it's showing up in political terms. Everyone's talking about we're heading to a reset. And I don't think enough people have really tried to look at the definition of the word. What actually does the word reset mean? It's usually meant, people sort of use it to discuss some sort of change, some sort of transformation, some sort of ending of one thing and the beginning of something else. But that's not really the word reset. So I have called up a dictionary definition of reset, and it has three basic meanings. One, which means to set again, as in to put a bone back together, or if a gemstone has come out of a ring, to reset it back in the ring. So reset, put something back in place. The second one is to restore to zero. That's an important one. It's always to restore to zero, and we'll talk about that in a second. And the third is in computer science, which is to, again, clear or restore a computer system to zero. So it's always to zero. Those are the two main elements of what the word reset actually means. The final one has to do with a loan arrangement, which is to adjust the interest rate of a loan according to a contractual arrangement at the end of the present term. So when the term reset is being thrown around now, we're talking about civilization being reset. Does it mean more that it's like a gemstone that has been out of place and is being placed back into the ring, or a bone that's been broken and is being set back so it all goes back together so it's all whole again? No, I don't think so. Does it mean the third one, where it has something to do with resetting the interest rate of a loan? I don't think so. So what we're left with is the change of a reading to zero. And that's important. The reset, if you reset your computer, it takes it back to the first day you bought it, not to some alternate time, not to something else. You know, when you hit reset, you know what you're going to get the day your computer started. With my phone, I have a calculator on it. So whatever I push on the calculator, 4 plus 8 equals 12. Okay, and then I push reset. I get, or with my stopwatch, when I turn on my stopwatch, I should say, when you run it to whatever 4 minutes, and when I end the stopwatch, the button comes up to reset. When I reset, the stopwatch goes back to zero. It goes back to zero. And I think that's what everyone's missing in the resets. This idea of a reset is somehow being presented to people as if it's some sort of transformation, some sort of change, and that's a different word. To me, the word reset means going to 0 point. So what is 0 point? If you believe, as I do, that we live in some sort of time loop, that we are actually experiencing the same period of time. And that period of time might be 100 years, might be 500 years, might be 5 billion years, whatever. But there's a looping of time. Actually, I don't think it's like 5 billion. My guess is probably we're in the hundreds to perhaps thousands at the max of a loop where time goes to a certain point, and at that point it gets reset back to where time started, right? The idea of the alchemic Ouroboros, which is often used to show an alchemic time where the dragon is eating its tail, where the one moment of time you are, October 1, 2020, and then the next day you are September 14, 800 BC. And you just have this endless, continuous loop of time where history just repeats itself. Maybe a few things are altered. Maybe it has a slightly different edge to it. Maybe this idea of parallel realities where the next loop, something happens in the loop that's a bit different. So everything is a bit different in the loop, but there will still be a you, there would still be a me, there would still be, this apartment, there would still be this town. Everything would still be in the next loop. To me, when I hear the word reset means more to me than just some giant change or the ending of a civilization or even the killing off of a lot of humans so that some new thing can form. That's a different word, right? That's a totally different word. Reset is very clear, taking it to 0 point. So again, just like I've asked, I wonder what the marker is with the announcement of Donald Trump. You've really got to start wondering, given that the word reset is being thrown out constantly, and that there does seem that word's been used in so many different ways in the last year. What do you think reset is actually referring to? If we've just heard the definitions, it can only be one of those three: fixing a loan agreement, replacing something that you might say has broken or gone apart and putting it back to its original place, or the setting of something to 0 point. And to me, it's 0 point. And if you can figure out what the 0 point is, you'll know what the reset is going to be happening. So, I'm sorry I don't have anything specific for you, but I think those are important questions for us to really think about. What is the message in this announcement, and what does reset mean? Let's see what happens in the comments and what all of you come up with, and we'll see you in a couple of days with a Donnie Darko and a Lost experience and analysis. Thanks again. See you in a few days.